Hello guys, Bud here with Dependable Lawn Care, and I wanted to show you guys these Jungle Gems weed eater racks for stand-on mowers. I've looked at these before and I've always thought they were kind of neat, and now that we have some larger properties that are really spread out, decided it was time to go ahead and purchase these for the Z3Xs. We're also using them in some of our neighborhoods where we have multiple residences on one street, and man, they're handy. I like the way these are built. I like the way they're put together. The color is almost a perfect match for these Ferris mowers, and I didn't get to do a video on unboxing them or installing them, but I will show you guys up close how I did all of that so that you can see for yourself. I've just been running like crazy, guys. I mean, I'm actually hoping this video will turn out okay because I'm tired. I've just been on the go constantly. It's been the busiest mowing season so far, and as most of you guys know, I'm a full-time firefighter, so you know I'm pulling my 50 hours plus a week being a firefighter, and then I'm also running a lawn care business in between shifts. So I mean, there are days where it's a 14-15 hour day, and it's spring, so we've been getting a lot of rain, as a lot of people have been getting a lot of rain, and so you know we've been running behind and trying to get caught up, and about the time you get caught up you get behind again, so you know it's just playing the game. But anyway, I'll show you how these come off. They're really simple. This is the 52-inch mower, and I'll show you the difference between the 52 and the 61. But so this lever right here is spring-loaded, so you can take this on and off with one hand. You just grab the handle and pull up, and it comes right out of that bracket. And then the front bracket, you just swing the trimmer out to the side, and it comes right out. So super simple as far as that goes. And then again, to put it back in, just like that, no big deal. I barely got clearance, but I do have clearance for my quick shoot handle. So it's out of the way and I can still operate that just fine. And some guys have made some comments about the short handles. They do have longer handles. They're 6 inches longer, I believe. And I've been playing phone tag with one of the representatives for Quick Shoot, and hopefully I can get a couple of those coming pretty soon to replace these. I don't know if I'll have to purchase them or if they're just going to send them to me and have them send the other ones back. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. I want to get the longer handles on there. Be a little bit more functional. But anyway, back to the rack. So I'll take the trimmer off and I'll show you how I set everything up. I just wanted to show it to you up close with the trimmer in it so you could get a good look at it. Okay, so let me pull the trimmer off and then I'll go over how I mounted these on. Okay, so the front bracket, I've seen some of these mounted on the frame, some of them mounted on the deck. You know, there's different options, and it comes with a lot of brackets and extra bolts so that you can figure out what works best for you. What I ended up doing was actually putting it on this front pivoting arm, and I was kind of concerned that may not work very well because with the Z3X, as most of you guys know, it pivots right here. Okay, so either side can move up and down. I don't remember what the travel is. I want to say it's like 3 inches either way. So, you know, it can travel quite a ways. But I thought, looking at the mower, this was about the best place to go on both mowers. And so what I did is I drilled one hole and ran the bolt straight through. I actually got a heavier bolt than what came with it. Ran it straight through, bolted it down with a lock nut, and that's working out really good. It's nice and solid. It's not trying to move back and forth or anything. The front, I don't know what you call this, the bump stop or whatever that keeps the mower from coming up, This is adjustable up and down. So I put it on and just left it finger tight until I had the trimmer on, and then I moved it down against the trimmer and tightened it up. So that's how I did the front bracket. And like I said, this is the 52 inch. So let me show you on the 61 inch how I did the front bracket, because it's a little bit different. Now on the 61 inch, the arm is quite a bit bigger. It's wider and it's longer. And so on my 52, it was like right here. But on my 61, I actually went in a little bit different location. But the same method, I just ran one bolt through, and then same thing on the stop. I adjusted that after I got the trimmer on so that they don't bounce around. And I wanted to keep these as much as I could lined up with the front tire so that the trimmer head sticking out isn't in the way. You can see it just sticks out about as far as the front tires do. The motor doesn't stick out past the back of the machine, and from the side view you can see that it's not in the way of anything. So I did that on purpose. The way I positioned those was to make sure that they were completely out of the way of not only the moving parts on the mower, but also not in the way of anything I'm trying to mow around. So now on the back bracket, I actually did this exactly the same on both mowers. This piece right here is actually an extra piece that I put on, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the main part is this assembly right here that's spring-loaded, okay, and it's bolted top and bottom to this bracket. And what I did is I just bolted this bracket to the top of the back of the plate that's on the battery pan. So you can see that right here. It's these two bolts, and then these two bolts are the bolts for the piece that actually holds the trimmer. Now this piece was an extra bracket that I cut in half, and I used half of it on each mower. And the reason I did that, let me put the trimmer back on here. I have a thing about the trimmers turning and, you know, sitting there upside down, being able to move around too much. I want the trimmer to stay upright and level, so I put that piece of angle right there, and as you can see, the block for my Green Touch rack sits up against that, sits flat against it, and so it's a perfect stop to keep this from rotating, and it works quite well. The only downside to this type of rack is that there's no motor support, so you can't see it very much right here, but you know, if you get on a really rough property, you do get a lot of bounce, and that could eventually, you know, create a problem. But we don't leave the trimmers on the mower all the time. We leave them on the mower when we're using them in that manner, and then as soon as we're done using them, they come off, they go back in the rack in the trailer, and we put them back on when we need them. So they're not going to just ride there all the time, where they might get abused by that lack of an engine mount. But I don't really see that as a design flaw, because if you had an engine mount back here, then when the trimmer wasn't on, it could be in the way. And you know, I'm not bashing the design at all. I think it's well put together, and I'm not going to change anything about it. But I just wanted to show you guys how I've got clearance right here behind the bracket, or between the bracket and the pedestal on the mower. It's just these two bolts, and I just used that whole bracket. So, and I'll show you some of the brackets that came with it. It actually came with quite a few different brackets that you can use to change the way it mounts up depending on how you want it. This seemed to be the simplest and easiest for me, but I think it'll also work to again, keep the trimmer with you but out of the way. I really like how that works. I mean, especially on this one, the trimmer head's almost completely lined up with the front wheel. It does stick out a little bit farther on this mower because the 52-inch mower is shorter. The frame is shorter and narrower, so you have some stick out on the front, but on the side it's still almost even with the side. And the reason I went with it on the discharge side, because a lot of guys run them on the other side of the mower. The reason I went on the discharge side is because on the other side of the mower, I'm often trying to get as close as I can to get underneath the edge of trees and shrubs and you know, decks and things like that with the deck of the mower sticking out. And I didn't want to have that trimmer here on the side of the mower, you know, out past the mower or even anywhere on the side at all where I might hit it up against something and potentially tear up the trimmer. Plus I have my trash bag on this side, which would have been in the way, and I really like the way that works, so I didn't want to change that. And so going with it on the other side of the mower just worked out the best. So again, like I said, this one's bolted up the same way here on the back, and then I've got that other half of that angle that keeps that in place. And each one of these Jungle Gyms racks comes with 2 of these brackets, and I'd have to measure them to tell you for sure, but I think they're this bracket right here is about 6 inches long, and then I think the other 2 brackets that come with it are either 8 or 10 inches long. And one has the slit holes, and one just has the drilled holes on those extra brackets. So I've actually got a use in mind already for those extra brackets that I'll show you on the next video. But anyway, that's the Jungle Gyms trimmer racks on the Ferris Z3X. I don't know how many hours I've put on. Let me look. I think it was about 45 or 46 hours when I put it on this machine. 59.2. So, you know, that's over what, 10, 12 hours or so of use with this in place, and we like them. They're very handy. Like I said, we don't use them on every job, but on the jobs where things are really spread out and you don't want to spend a lot of time walking back and forth to grab a trimmer, it really works. And you know, if you're familiar with stand-on mowers, or if you're not, one of the things that I love about these stand-on mowers is, for one, with the Jungle Gyms rack, I have my trimmer with me. I can also throw my edger on there, which is really handy. But I can have my trimmer on the mower, I can have my backpack blower on while I'm on the mower, and I can literally have everything that I would need to go house to house taking care of lawns on a residential street or a large commercial property, and I can most of the time blow just about everything off while riding the mower. And again, I've got my trimmer right there with me, so if I needed to jump off and touch something up or trim something that's way out of the way, you know, it's just, man, these stand-on mowers are phenomenal for that. They're just so quick and easy. And these Z3X mowers especially, man, guys, if you haven't tried one, you need to demo one, I'm telling you. Just don't demo one if you're not prepared to buy one, because if you demo one, you're going to want it. Just personal experience there. So anyway, this is supposed to be about the Jungle Gym racks. So that's about all I've got on that, guys. I just wanted to show you how I mounted them on, where I put them at, and how they're working for me. And I'm sorry that I didn't get an unboxing video or anything like that. I've just been crazy busy. And I'm kind of playing catch up today because I'm trying to get some things done that I haven't had time to do. There's been a lot of things going on and just haven't had time to video it all. So anyway, there you go, guys. Get out there and make some money, and we'll catch you on the next one.